In order to create a blockchain, we first need to set up our environment. Throughout this program, you will need to work on multiple OS platforms, switching between Windows and Linux. For the most part, Ubuntu and VirtualBox will be our main operating environment. For compiling, Ubuntu 16.04 is required. You will need a .iso file for the installation. This is provided to download. If you have not already downloaded this file, you should do that before you proceed with this part of the tutorial. Okay, let's begin. Open up your VirtualBox program in Windows. In the top left, you will see a blue icon. Click on this to create a new virtual machine. In the name section, type Ubuntu 16.04. Make sure the type is on Linux, and the version is on Ubuntu 64-bit. Note, if 64-bit does not come up in your list, it means that you need to disable Hyper-V in Windows. In which case, follow the link in the transcript to do that. Then once your PC has restarted, open VirtualBox again and continue on. Okay, now click on Next. Choose your memory size. Allow at least 4096 megabytes. Click Next. Now we are going to choose Create a virtual hard disk. Then click on the Create button. Choose VDI, VirtualBox Disk Image. Click Next. Then choose Dynamically Allocated. Click Next. Now we are going to choose the size of the virtual machine. We are going to be doing a lot of work on this, so I would suggest a minimum of 30 gigabytes. Then click on the Create button. Now we are going to click on the Settings icon. We need to make some adjustments to our virtual machine settings. In general, navigate to the Advanced tab. Change both from disable to bidirectional. This means we will be able to drag and drop files from Windows to our virtual machine, and vice versa. Next, in the Systems tab, uncheck Floppy. Note, you may access the Processor tab and allocate more CPUs to the server. I would suggest 2 CPUs or more. For installation, we are leaving it the default of 1 CPU. Next, go to Display and increase the video memory. Then exit the settings by clicking on OK. Now start the machine by clicking on the green Start arrow. A box will appear asking for a startup disk. This is the Ubuntu ISO file you downloaded earlier. Click on the small file icon and navigate to your ISO file. It should be in your Downloads folder. Click on it and choose Open. Then click on Start. It will then begin the installation process. After a little while, a screen will appear. Choose your preferred language and then choose Install Ubuntu. We don't need to install updates at this point. Click on Continue. Next, keep it on the option to erase disk. Don't worry, this has no effect on your Windows PC files. This is just formatting the space already allocated to our virtual machine. Click on Install now. Next, choose Continue. Then give your location. This is just so you can set the clocks on the machine. Click Continue. Then choose your keyboard layout and hit Continue. Now you need to enter the name you want for the computer. Pick a password and confirm it. Choose the option to log in automatically. Then choose Continue. It will then copy all the installation files over to your PC. This is the point where you will know whether it has worked. If it fails during this point, go back and start the process again. You may have missed something. Allow it to install and be patient. It can take a long time to install. I will speed up the video to the end of the installation. You will be prompted to restart after installation is complete. Click the Restart Now button. Now, when you restart, it will ask you to remove the installation medium. Just press Enter. It will then take a few minutes to load up for the first time. Eventually, you will end up on the desktop home screen. With Ubuntu installed, we now need to clean up our desktop apps and get out our essential tools. So, let's start by removing everything we don't need. Right-click on the icons and choose Unlock from Launcher. We want to remove all of these except for the File Manager and Firefox. There are three main tools that we will need: the terminal, an editor, and the internet. To get the tools we need, click on the Ubuntu logo above the File Manager. Then type a search for terminal. Click on the first option. Then, right-click on the terminal icon, and choose Lock to Launcher. Now, the terminal will always be there. Next we are going to search for the editor. Just type editor, and choose the text editor. Again, right-click on the editor icon, and choose Lock to Launcher. With that done, we now have our essential tools in place. In our next video, we will be installing the dependencies needed to create our blockchain. So close your virtual machine and go back to the settings. Add more CPUs in the Processor tab. You need to have a minimum of 2 CPUs for compiling.